Good morning, everyone. Welcome, all of you, to the workshop. Today, Dr. Ratnesh Kumar Misra will deliver his lecture on global optimization of non-linear programming, non-linear polynomial programming problem using Grosvenor basis. So, I will introduce the speaker to you first. Dr. Misra is working as an assistant professor in Department of Mathematics in NIT Jamshedpur. Dr. Misra obtained his PhD from MNNIT Allahabad in 2013 under the guidance of Professor Shivdat Kumar. His research interests include commutative algebra, computational algebra, and fuzzy algebra. Dr. Misra has published several research papers in various international and national journals and conferences. His research collaborators include Professor Raja Sridharan, School of Mathematics from TFR Mumbai. He has successfully organized a national conference at DIT University Dehradun as a co-convener. He has also served as an assistant professor in Amity University Noida and DIT University Dehradun. Additionally, Dr. Mishra is guiding several PhD students. He is also a reviewer of 4 international journals and member of various professional academic bodies such as Ramanujan Mathematical Society and Cryptology Research Society of India. Dr. Misra also holds various administrative responsibilities such as Warden in NIT Jamshedpur and Program Leader and Faculty Mentor of MSc Applied Mathematics at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. I welcome you, sir. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Mahen Kumar Gupta. So my slide is visible.
Sir, your slide is visible.
Okay. So, so my topic of talk is global optimization of non-linear programming problems using Grosvenor basis. So first before going to details, just I want to briefly remind some keywords of this talk. You know, the non-linear polynomials means if fx is the linear, if fx equal to c, so this is the linear polynomials if fx is the linear map. Otherwise, we will say this is the non-linear. Now, the next term is 1 minute. Yes. So now this is the term optimization. So optimization means an optimization problem is the problem of finding the best solution from all feasible solution. Means we can write our optimization problem is maximize or minimize of fx, and this is the objective function, and subject to constants are given. And next term is the global. Global means ki suppose this is the y-axis, and suppose this is the x-axis, and this is the fx. So if you plot this one, this is, so these points, these 2 points, this is the local minima, and this is the global minima, or we can say that optimal solution. So this is the example of local and global solutions in an optimization problem. And this is the most important keyword. Actually, this is the Grosvenor basis. So just you means this is this term I will explain in the section of Grosvenor basis. So just you assume that this words Grosvenor basis. Okay. So my objective is obtaining the global optimal solution for a general non-linear programming problem. This is the very difficult task. This is the easy when our data is very small. But in the case of large amount of data, this is not possible to find the global optimal solution for the nonlinear programming problems. Now in this lecture, I am going to explain a class of nonlinear programming problems, which is called the polynomial programming problems. That is denoted by PP. Actually, I have written PP, but PP means polynomial programming problems. But you may understand this is the non-linear polynomials programming problems. So a polynomial programming problem is an optimization problem where our objective function is the scalar function and the constants are set of polynomials. So applying the Grosvenor basis technique, we will find the global minimum of polynomial programming in a reasonable amount of time and memory. So this is the introduction. In almost every engineering discipline, the need for optimizing a particular application at hand arises constantly. Actually, in engineering applications, global solution means the most efficient use of resources under practical constraints. Optimization techniques have been a fruitful domain in the engineering research for linear and quadratic programming problems. Efficient algorithms have been developed to guarantee global solution with convexity. Means till this paper, actually this is not my work, this is the work of Chang and Hua. So they claim that for the linear programming problem and quadratic programming problems, there are a lot of solution available. Not a solution, a lot of method available. By this one, we can find the global solution of linear programming problem and quadratic programming problem. But for the general nonlinear programming problem, various optimization procedures have been designed. However, most of these procedures aim at finding local solution. Actually, a lot of persons have given their effort for solving nonlinear programming problem, but they have found only local solutions. Chang and Hua proposed Grosvenor basis technique for finding global optimal solution for non-linear programming problem. That is, in this talk I have denoted by PP. So a general non-linear programming problem is often too complex for us to find its global solution. So in this paper, Chang and Hua proposed a class of nonlinear programming problems that is called the polynomial programming problem. A polynomial program is a mathematical program with the objective function is the scalar polynomial constant by polynomial system of equations. Means our constraints is the system of polynomial equations. Okay, so polynomial program is specialized to linear program. So linear programming problems means if the objective function and constraint both are linear. In the case of quadratic polynomial problem, in this case, objective function is the quadratic polynomial, but constraint may be linear. So in the next slide, I want means the next slide I have given I have given the relation between the polynomial programming problems and other mathematical programming problems that is shown in the next figure. So linear programming is the subset of quadratic programming problem, and quadratic programming is the subset of polynomial programming. Polynomial programming means our objective function is the non-linear polynomials and constraint may be non-linear or linear, and this is not a non-linear. Actually, this is the Laurent polynomial programming problem. So okay, so again I recall this one in the linear programming problem, objective function and constant both are linear. In quadratic, objective function is the quadratic polynomial and the constant may be linear. In the polynomial programming problems, objective function is the polynomials. Maybe they are these are the non-linear polynomials. Their degree is greater than 2, and constants are also non-linear polynomials. But in this case, our objective function is the Laurent series, not a series, Laurent polynomial. In this type of polynomials, actually we know that polynomials means the degree is non-negative integers. But when the degree includes negative integers as well as positive integers, so that type of polynomial is called the Laurent polynomial. So this is not a part of this talk, but you may think about how to find their global optimal solution of Laurent polynomial problems. So this is the mathematical programming hierarchy. So a polynomial program consists of a polynomial objective and a set of polynomial constraint equations. So in general, it is not a convex problem due to the non-linear terms that may arise in the objective or constants. So now I want to recall you, this is the convex. Convex means what? Is suppose, okay, this is, and this is the any function, y is any function of x. So now take any 2 points, this is x1 and this is the point x2. So this is x1 comma fx1 and this is x2 comma fx2. If join these 2 points means the chord, this is lies on or above the graph of the function fx, that is called the convex. But in the case of concave, if this is okay, so this is the point x1 fx1, x2 fx2. So now if you join these 2 points, so now this chord, this is the lies on or below the graph of fx. Now we can say that this is the concave. So this is the concave and this is the convex. So the straight line, if you draw this one, this is the straight line. So this is the both convex and concave. And if you find the suppose fx equal to sin x, if you write the graph of sin x, so this is the when you write the graph of sin x, so this will goes to this is, and this one, so minus pi to 0, this is the convex, and 0 to pi, this is the concave. So this is not a convex problem. Means fx equal to sin x is not a convex. So our objective function is minimize the fx, and our constants are given px equal to 0, where x is an n-dimensional vector, where f is a scalar function, and px is a system of m polynomial equations. So, and you know that the slack and surplus variable, this is the inequality. So you can introduce the slack and surplus variable, you can write in this form. Okay, so I leave this one. So without loss of generality, we assume that the minimum solution are to be found. We first transform a polynomial programming problem into Lagrangian problem based on the Grosvenor basis technique. We then actually reduce the Lagrangian problem to a canonical form by symbolic substitution and simplification. Finally, we use numerical back substitution to locate all extreme solutions in the reduced Lagrangian problem. Extreme points means, suppose if you have the objective function fx, this is the objective function, and suppose there are two constants t1 x equal to 0 and there are another constant t2 x equal to 0. There are two constants. Suppose if you plot and assume that if the one line T1 suppose goes to this one and T2 suppose goes to this two. So this is the, suppose this is the common area. So now this point, suppose A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. So these all corner points are extreme points, and this region is the feasible region. Okay. So the idea in this algorithm is to preserve all the extrema by maintaining the algebraic structure of these extrema while performing symbolic reduction. So to ensure that a global solution can be obtained, the numerical isolation of global optimal solution is delayed until the mathematical form becomes robust enough to tolerate numerical errors. So modeling power of polynomial programming problem. So there are wide application of this one. We can see that in the chemical equilibrium problem, when you model this type of problem, so there are 10 to 20 equations involved, and also including 10 to 20 unknowns. And in the robotics problem, there are the non-linear polynomials. In this one, there are the 18 equations in 12 unknowns. Means when the data is very large, so now in this case, multi-start optimization method has been used extensively to obtain better solutions among possibly many local minima. Suppose in our polynomial programming problem, actually we are talking about the linear, in the quadratic. In both cases, the method have been already available for finding the local as well as global solution. But suppose in our case, suppose that is the objective function or constraints that are given in terms of trigonometric function like sine, cosine, or logarithmic function or radicals. So now in this case, we will apply the Taylor series expansion and formulate into the terms of polynomials, and now we can apply the Grosvenor basis technique and we can find their solution, local as well as global. So global optimization of PP. Numerical optimization algorithms existed to date mainly rely on differential information such as gradients, Hessian, or their tailored modifications to make progress iteratively. Unfortunately, differential information, no matter what form it takes, only provides local geometric information in the neighborhood of the current position. So lacking a view of the entire solution space, almost all such algorithms are designed to find only local solutions. But the one introduced the notion of Grosvenor basis as a very fruitful method for finding optimal solution in the case of non-linear programming problems. So to apply Grosvenor basis theory, first we consider the Lagrangian problem associated with the original polynomial program. So the Lagrangian for a polynomial is defined in this way. Okay, so suppose if our objective function is, suppose this is the fx, okay, and this is the objective function and subject to constant is p. So write L is fx plus lambda time x and differentiate with respect to x and with respect to lambda. So that is, we can write this one. So this lambda is the Lagrangian operator. Means, or suppose if objective function is fx, this is the any polynomial, nonlinear polynomials, and our constant is, suppose, okay, so this is the f of x1 comma x2. Extend this one, the objective function is the in terms of x1 and x2, and our subject to constant, suppose p1 x1 comma x2 equal to 0, and there is another polynomial x1 p2 is 0. So how to write the L? Lagrangian function is L of x1 x2 lambda 1 lambda 2. So this is f of x1 x2, this is the function f, and this is Lagrangian vector, Lagrangian multiplier is depend on the how many constraints involved. So if there are two constants, so there are two Lagrangian multiplier introduced. So lambda 1 into p1 plus lambda 2 into p2. So differentiate L with respect to xi equate to 0, and differentiate L with respect to Li equate to 0. So this is the Lagrangian problem that finds the x and lambda. So what we do here in this one, first we find the x1 x2 in terms of lambda 1 lambda 2, and after we eliminate lambda 1 lambda 2 and find x1 x2. By these points x1 x2 we can find our local solution as well as maximum solution, means substitute in the objective function fx. So the Lagrangian problem gives the first order necessary condition for optimality. So if x is a local minimizer of f, this is first order necessary condition for optimality. Means what? If x is a local minimizer of f and f is continuously differentiable in an open neighborhood of x, then their differentiation is 0. So now we can say that this is the first order necessary condition. In the similarly, in the second order necessary condition is if x is local minimizer of f and del square f is continuous in an open neighborhood of x, then del fx equal to 0 and del 2 fx is positive semi-definite. So all the global and local extrema for the original optimization problems are solution to the Lagrangian problem. Hence, if one can solve the Lagrangian problem and obtain all its solutions, then obtaining the global minimum becomes a more manageable task. So the Lagrangian problem associated with the polynomial program consists of a system of polynomial equations. More often than not, the polynomial system is strongly coupled in the sense that any solution to the entire system cannot start with a single equation followed by back substitution to the others. Actually, we know that when we solve the system of linear simultaneous equations, so what we do here, first we convert it into augmented matrix and apply either the row transformation or column transformation and convert into echelon form, and by back substitution we can find the roots, but find the unknowns. But in this case, in the nonlinear polynomial system of polynomials, this is the very difficult to directly find by the back substitution method. We cannot find their solution. So now we need a systematic procedure to simplify the polynomial system so that after simplification we can obtain the roots without much difficulty. Since we know that Gaussian elimination serves this purpose for a linear system. So Buchberger carried this procedure one step further to extend Gaussian elimination to the polynomial systems. So now Grobner basis. In 1965, Bruno Buchberger had been introduced Grobner basis in his PhD thesis. Actually, Buchberger named this one is in the honor of his supervisor Wolfgang Grobner. There is one controversy regarding this theory. In 1913, similar notion had been introduced by Gunther. That paper published in Russian Mathematical Journal, these research papers were largely ignored by mathematical community of that time. I want to just correlate this matter in current scenario. Russian scientists claimed for novel corona vaccine, but except Russian, nobody believed the authenticity of this vaccine. I don't know who is correct, but just I have shared my thought. Maybe there is some fault in that time of the Gunther theory. Okay, anyway, the current time, Grobner basis is the very powerful technique we can apply in the commutative algebra, non-commutative algebra, algebraic geometry, cryptography, coding theory, robotics, etc. So there are many mathematical softwares like Singular, Cocoa, Macaulay 2 in this in which this one in this software Grobner basis tool had been built. So just you giving the one command, now you can solve the system of non-linear polynomials equations. So by Grobner basis technique, we can solve non-linear polynomial equations. So Grobner basis for a polynomial system is a canonical form that represents the original system. Actually, what we do here, it can be shown that a Grobner basis contains the same information as the original set of polynomials. Since we have the any collection of polynomials, so when we apply the Grobner basis, we will get the new set. So now this is the very nice structure, and although each may contains more polynomials than the original set, but however, decoupling procedures, Grobner basis reduces the original problem to a form that what allows us to solve the reduced set of equations by back substitution. Means after applying the Grobner basis technique by back substitution method, we can find the solutions. So the following property shows the next slide. This is the very useful of Grobner basis technique. Every polynomial system has a Grobner basis. Number two, two polynomial systems are equivalent if and only if they have the same Grobner basis. A polynomial system is inconsistent if and only if its Grobner basis contains a non-zero constant. And number four, Grobner bases are finite. So, okay. So Grobner basis construction algorithm. Actually, this is called the, I have not written, this is the Buchberger algorithm. So this is the main algorithm. So a polynomial system consisting P1, P2, P3, Pm, etc. These are all the collection of polynomial. So we will write G equal to the collection of these polynomials. So now apply while loop. Means among these polynomials, Pi, P1, P2, P3, etc., just you select any two polynomials of this G. One more thing is PT denotes the principal term of the polynomial of first polynomial and pt of first we know what is the principal term. Principal term means polynomial means what? This is the sum of monomials. Now in the monomials we apply the suppose there are more than one variable, so we will apply the ordering. So there are a lot of ordering. So just you now assume that here we have applied the lexicographic ordering. Lexicographic ordering means means just this is the actually in this one first suppose there are x1 x2 x3 x etc. These are the unknowns. So first compares exponents of x1 in the monomials, and in case of equality compares exponent of x2 and so on. Means x1 is greater than x2, x3, x4, etc. And rest to ordering, graded lexicographic ordering and graded reverse lexicographic ordering I will explain later. So in the examples I will clear these things. Okay. So first just we know means assume that PT means principal term of polynomials and LCM stand for least common multiple. Okay. So first what we do, select any two polynomials in G. So now find Hij. How find Hij? First we write the principal term of Pi. Second, write the principal term of Pj and find their LCM. This is the Hij. Now calculate S polynomial. S polynomial, this is the Sij. So how to find the S polynomial? Hij divided by principal term of first polynomial into first polynomial. This is the minus Hij divided by principal term of second polynomial into second polynomial. So they claim that means in the that is the not a claim, this is the condition given. If this is non-zero, so what we do, Sij, this is the denoted by another polynomial and include in the G and continue this one and terminate when this is the 0. But I have slightly changed in this one. I have done when we find the S polynomial, if this is the independent, this is not dependent on the any one of the previous of this one. So now take this is the next polynomial and include here. But suppose if any S polynomial, this is the dependent on the previous of any polynomial, or we can write there in the linear combination of the previous polynomials. So just what we do, we exclude this polynomial, means we will not consider. So actually in this one, if Sij is dependent on any one of previous polynomial, so we will not consider it. I am repeating this one. If suppose if the S polynomial is independent means we cannot write as a linear combination of the previous polynomials, so we introduce as a new polynomial and adding to G. But now we will proceed for new S polynomials. So okay, we will see by examples. This is the more clear from the example. Now this is the blank pen. Okay. So suppose G is the P1 and P2. Okay. Where P1 is x square plus 2xy square and P2 is xy plus 2y cube minus 1. So this is the G, and with lexicographic order and not a and, this is lexicographic order means x is greater than y in the polynomial ring. This one. So how to find the Grosvenor basis? So now see, in this one, if x is greater than y, if we apply this one, so what we do here, this is the principal term of P1. This is the principal term of P1. And now in this one, x is greater than y, so this is the principal term of P2. So clearly I have written here, P principal term of P1 is x square and principal term of P2 is xy. So now find H12. This is the LCM of principal term of P1 means x square and principal term of P2 means xy. So this is the x square y. Now calculate S polynomial. S12, this is what? This is H12 and this is principal term of P1 into the first polynomial, okay, minus H12 and principal term of second polynomial, okay, into second polynomial. So now H13, this is the x square y and divided by what? H12 is the x square y and principal term of P1 is the x square, and P1 means x square plus 2x y square minus x square y, and principal term of P2, this is the xy, and second polynomial xy plus 2y cube minus 1. If you have any query, so just you can unmute your mic and you can ask me. So this is okay. So x square cancel, and here y cancel, and x to x, this is cancel. So now this is the y x square plus 2 times x y cube minus this is x square y minus 2 times x y cube and plus x. So this is cancel, this is cancel. So S12 is the x, okay, right here, this is the x, and this is denoted by next polynomial P3 because this is independent of the previous polynomial P1 and P2. So now write our Grosvenor basis is G is, next one is P1, P2 and P3. So now again repeat this process. So first we write H12 find, H13 and H23. But this term we have already calculated. So we will not again find. For now find H13 and there correspond find S13, S polynomial, and from this one we can find S polynomial, this is okay. So what is the H13? This is the okay, this is the LCM of principal term of first polynomial, यानी कि x square प्रिंसिपल टर्म ऑफ थर्ड पॉलिनोमियल P3 यानी कि x. So this is x square. So now find S polynomial. This is H13 divided by principal term of first polynomial into first polynomial minus H13 and principal term of third polynomial into third polynomial, and substitute here. This is the H13 is what? X square. So x square, and principal term of P1 is also x square, and this is x square plus 2x y square minus x square. This is x, and this is also x. This is cancelled. This is cancelled. X square plus 2x y square minus x square. So this term cancel. This is the 2x y square. So what we will write this one? This is the 2y, and x is the not a y square. This is the P3. Means this depend on the previous polynomial. So we will not consider this S polynomial as of 1, 3. We will not consider because this is dependent on the previous polynomial. So just we leave this one. We will not consider this one. So now we will go for the next one, S23. So on the next slide, I will write this one. For this one, S23. So this is the H23 and principal term of second polynomial into second polynomial minus what? H23 and principal term of third polynomial. This is. So okay, I'm not going to detail, just you so okay, you can simplify this one. So after simplify, we will get 2y cubed minus 1. So this is our next polynomial, P4. This is not dependent on the previous polynomials. So write G is, you can write P1, P2, P3 and P4. So now on this basis, we find H12, H13, H14, H23, H24, H34. So what we have already done, this is already done. So we cannot, we will not find here. This is also we have done. This is we cannot find. We have not find till. So we will find this is S polynomial. H23. Okay, no, we have find. Now on this one we will find S24, and on this one we will find S34. So when we find, after finding the S polynomials of this, means when we find these three S polynomials, if these are the dependent on the previous polynomials, so we will exclude this one and terminate our the process. If suppose this is the not a combination of the previous polynomials, we include this one, and this is denoted by the next polynomial P5. So now we will write G equal to P1, P2, P3, P5, and this process we will proceed. So just I am going to summarize of this problem. How S14 is the simply we can write as the previous H14 divided by principal term of first polynomial minus H14 principal term of fourth polynomial into fourth polynomial. So this is the 1 by, after simplification you will get, this is the 1 by 2 p1 plus xy square, this is the p4. So we will not consider this one. Similarly, when you find the s polynomial 2, 4, so 1 by 2 p3 plus y square p4, again we will not consider this one. Now s polynomial of 3, 4, this is the 1 by 2 x, and this is the 1 by 2 p3. So again we will not consider this one. So this we will not consider. So now what is the Grosvenor basis? G is the finally P1, P2, P3 and P4. So what is this one? This is the x square plus 2x y square xy plus 2y cube minus 1 x, and this is 2y cube minus 1. Okay. So here this is the complete, this is the Grosvenor basis. So now I want to just recall graded lexicographic ordering. So graded lexicographic ordering, assume that we have the three unknowns x1, x2 and x3, and both have degrees same. So what we will do here, actually in the first just x1 after x2 after x3, but when the degree is same, then which term we will write first. So suppose there are the degrees, sum is 2, so x1 is square, first we write this one, then we write x1 x2, then we write x1 x3, then we write x2 is square, then we write x2 x3, then we write x3 square. And the second is graded reverse ordering. So this is also called inverse lexicographic. So now in this one, x1 is square. After x1 is square, up to here this is the same, x1, x2. But in this one, in the graded, first complete the terms of x1. But now in this case, after x1 is square, x1, x2, so just we write not introduce x3. First we complete x2. So now we write here. Then we can write x1, x3, x2, x3, then x3, x3 square. So in the previous problem, you have, this is the homework, you can apply this technique in this one and also apply this technique. But I think this is the more powerful in the compare than lexicographic ordering. So this is the powerful things. You can apply this one. So these things I have already explained. The algorithm always terminates and gives the Grosvenor basis for the original polynomial system. However, its computational complexity is still an open research problem. So how to find global optimization? So So global optimization of polynomial programming problems. So this is the main problem. So based on the Grosvenor basis, global optimization algorithm can be readily constructed as follow. So suppose we have objective function. Our objective function is fx. Wait. This is the objective function fx, and now our constant is, suppose this is the px. So now we can write the Lagrangian function L. This is the fx plus lambda into px. Okay, so this is the second step. Write down the Lagrangian function. Now in the third step, what we do here, not a third, this is the second step, equate delta L, means differentiate L with respect to x and equate this to 0. Now differentiate L with respect to lambda and equate to 0. So by these two equations, we will find the simultaneous equations in terms of x and lambda. Now the third step, in this one, this system of equation, just apply the Grosvenor basis technique. After apply Grosvenor basis technique, means the Buchberger algorithm, so just you terminate this one. Means you write the all the Grosvenor basis, and by back substitution as numerical root finding method, you can find the all xi in terms of lambda I, and after removing the lambda, now we can find the all the points, means the all the we can find the all the values of xi. Now in is all xi substitute in the objective function our fx. Now we can find the minimum solution or global solution of this one. So more one we will clear from the example. We have already explained this one, so exclude this. Now this is the problem. Suppose minimize, this is the function fx, this is the objective function, and this is the subject to constraint. So assume that this is the function f1 and this is the function f2. So now write the Lagrangian function L. L is what? x1 x2 square x3 plus lambda 1 minus 6 plus x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square plus lambda 2. This is x1 plus x2 minus x3. Okay, so this is the L. So now find del L by differentiate L with respect to x1. So first one is the differentiation of L with respect to x1. So you will get this one. Differentiate here with respect to x1, x2 square, x3, this is, and when you differentiate this one with respect to x, so 2 times x1 into lambda 1, this is, and when you differentiate with respect to x1, so this is the lambda 2. So this is the differentiation of L with respect to x1, and the second one is the differentiation of L with respect to x2, and this is third one is the differentiation of L with respect to x3, and this is differentiation of L with respect to lambda 1. 1 minute. Okay, and now this is the last one is the differentiation of L with respect to lambda 2. Okay, so this is denoted by the polynomial P1, this is denoted by polynomial P2, this is denoted by polynomial P3, this is denoted by P4, and this is denoted by P5. So now our Grosvenor basis is G equal to, this is the, I have written here, G equal to P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. Actually, this is the set collection of all polynomials. This is not a Grosvenor basis, just to transform into Grosvenor basis. So how to transform, I have previously explained in the example. We take any two pi from the G. So suppose I have taken P1 polynomial and P2 polynomial from G. So now in the polynomial P1, this is the principal term. In this one we have applied inverse lexicographic order. And from P2, this is the principal term of P2 and this is the principal term of P1. So H1 H12 is their LCM is what? 2 times x1, x2 square, x3. So this is the LCM. Okay, this is a principal term of actually what? This is the principal term of P1 and this is the principal term of P2 and now this is the H12. So there correspond we can find the S polynomial and this is the our S polynomial S1, 2. So now this is denoted by the next polynomial. This is the P6 and adding here. So now our new G is, this is P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and P6. So as I have explained in the example, you can find all the S polynomials. If the any S polynomial is the dependent to the previous polynomials, or we can write new S polynomial is the linear combination of the previous polynomials. So we can exclude this one. Only include the polynomial S polynomial is not a linear combination of the previous. So just you take from this one you can find the Grosvenor basis. So after simplification you will get this one. By back substitution you can find the x1, x2, x3 in terms of lambda 1, lambda 2, and when you eliminate lambda 1, lambda 2, you will find all the x1, x2, x3, x4, etc. So -4 is the minimum and 2.25 is the maximum. So this is f is the simply -4 with x1, x2, x3. This is the 1, x1, x2 -2, x3 is -1. Similarly, in the next example, in this problem, this is the objective function. This is the objective function, and these are the constant. Suppose this is f1 and f2. As like the previous problem, we can find their optimal solution. So now here one interesting point is key. We have observed that the number of solutions to the Lagrangian problem is 10. If complex roots are also taken into account. Since complex roots are not relevant in optimization problems, they are simply ignored. So in the next one problem, minimize this function. Okay, so at x1, x2 is 0. So this is the -1 and this is -1 to 1, 1, 2, -2 plus 2 cancel, and this is 0, 0. So the problem has a global minimum 0 at when x1, x2 both are 0, and an infinite number of local minima. It would be very difficult to obtain the global optimal solution using the common numerical optimization method. Actually, in now this type of problem, what we do here, he expand this one as a Taylor series expansion and expand also this one as a Taylor series expansion. So now in this one, expanding the power series to the seventh order term of this one. So after simplification, you will get this is the our function. So now same we can find there the optimal solution in also this case. So this is the references Grosvenor basis. Actually, this second paper, this is the I have presented. This is the work of Chang and Hua. And if you want to detail to go to the Grosvenor basis techniques, so just you can read this one. This is a very beautiful book. In this one, that is the very nicely presented the Grosvenor basis and its application. And just you in the Google, just you type the Singular software. In the Singular also, Grosvenor basis tool has been defined as not a defined, this the built, and by this one you can find the means the you can see how to find the Grosvenor basis. Means how can find you can find the means you can see how to find the nonlinear polynomials, how to solve the nonlinear polynomials by Grosvenor basis techniques. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this interesting talk. Audience, is there any question, sir? Okay. If there is no question, let us thank to Dr. Ramneet Kumar Misra. Thank you so much for this beautiful talk. We will meet again at 2:30.
Okay, thank you, sir.